Caught it soon.
Tim Dean, Mark Doyle,
Here.
Kathy Bauer,
Here.
Amy Bondadiri, James Bacone,
Here.
Don Stagliano,
Here.
Al Torrigiani.
Here.
Great, thank you. And so, conflict of interest disclosures. We have Amy Bombardieri with a conflict for the Arthur May proposal,
And Kathy.
and Kathy as well for the same proposal, Kathy Bauer. So is there anybody else with a conflict?
Yeah, so, yeah,
When-
if there's anyone else. And then I'm going to move Kathy, Amy is not logged on to the meeting, but I will move Kathy to the waiting room.
for that section.
Yes, for that section.
Very good. Tell me when you're ready.
Okay.
Well, we have,
So Kathy is in the waiting room, and then I just want to double check that Amy is not logged on. Okay, Amy is not logged on.
I should probably have finished these before they went down, but that's okay because there are no issues. So, the proof of meeting notice went out on time, correct? And I take it there are no bills or communications, no minutes, no report from the treasurer this morning, no reports from the committees. Since we're holding a special meeting, that's the reason for these. And today, no unfinished business either.
Correct.
Fantastic. So we'll go on to new business, the first of which is the request from Arthur May. So, Sarah, if you want to lead that off.
Yeah, so I'll probably say a little bit and then maybe bring it to let Liz finish. But this morning, the board is considering approval for Arthur May. They are here in front of us. Arthur May Redevelopment Holdings LLC is requesting that Arthur May Redevelopment Holdings, Arthur May Redevelopment LLC be also named I'm trying to remind, sorry, added to the project ownership and the project documents. At the start of the project, the applicant did not, it wasn't clear to the applicant whether the project would be owned solely by Arthur May Holdings LLC or Arthur May Redevelopment LLC. And at one point, they thought Arthur May Holdings LLC would be the sole owner, but they have since changed their mind and would like Arthur May Redevelopment added to the project documents.
Yes. Yeah. So it was initially approved, recognizing that both entities would be involved. Just before the final approval for this back in June of 2020, they had removed Arthur May Redevelopment LLC from all of the project documents. So that was what was approved by the board, even though it was initially contemplated that both entities would be involved. So this is just to clear it up, to make it clear in the documents and in the approvals from the IDA that both entities, and they're made up of the same, they have the same ownership right now. So they're related entities, and it's just to make it clear that you're approving both of them to for Arthur May Redevelopment LLC to initially own the project and then authorize the future assignment of a portion of it to Arthur May Redevelopment Holdings when they're ready to go forward with that entity.
Fantastic. So we have with us this morning Jacob Rekas, representing Arthur May. And perhaps, do you have any comments for us?
Just a word of gratitude for the very skilled and competent leadership and professional staff. I know that there is a lot of technicalities between the various entities, and I appreciate everybody working through all the technicalities with us. So thank you.
Sure. Well, we appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you to you both and Don for keeping this all together. It's the details often catch us up, or can catch us up. So, any comments from members of the board? Questions? Not at all. I think this is fairly straightforward. We're not changing any other details. So I will call
I'd like to make a resolution.
for a motion. Thank you. And would there be a second?
Second.
Al, thank you very much. Any further questions, discussion? If not, I'll call on Jasmine to take a roll call for the vote.
Mark Doyle,
Approved?
Jamie Pacone,
Approved.
Don Sagliano,
Approved.
Al Torrigiani.
Approved.
Thank you. The vote passes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jacob. Good luck with the rest of your project. All right.
Okay, and then I will let Kathy back in, and then I see Amy has joined the meeting, so I will let Amy into the meeting as well.
Excellent. So are they in? Let's just see.
So,
Give them a second to come
yeah,
into
just
the
come
meeting.
in. So Amy is, Amy is here. Amy, is your audio on?
You also said Matthew Earl will be joining us.
Yes,
Is Matt-
Matthew Earl is here. I'm going to ask him to unmute.
There you are.
There you go.
Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
We're just waiting for the last connection with
Oh, Amy.
Amy Bombardieri.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
Welcome.
Sorry about that.
Very good. Okay, so what we're considering this morning is a approval of a supplemental resolution for Violet Estates to let's see. So actually, I'm going to let you take over the details of that.
Okay, so it is somewhat similar to the item above. Violet Estates owner is requesting termination of the agreement between the IDA and Violet Estates LLC. So the IDA had contemplated that both entities would be owners of the project, but as the project has proceeded, the applicant would like sole ownership to be under Violet Estates owner LLC. And then the second part of it is that when the board approved these benefits, they had allocated some of the benefits to Violet Estates LLC. Violet Estates LLC has not used any of the tax benefits that was approved and allocated to them. So they would like, with the termination of the agreement, those benefits that were approved for Violet Estates LLC to be transferred to Violet Estates. And that benefit, that benefit was in the form of sales tax of $8,125.
Right. But essentially, we are changing the naming of those that are getting the exemption.
Right. It was a holding company and an operating company, and they thought they were going to run it that way and give a portion of the benefits to the operating company, but they've come to realize that the operating company wasn't actually necessary. And in fact, it was better for their financing if they could just have everything go through only the owner, who's going to be the owner operator now.
Excellent. So we have with us today Matthew Earl, representing the company, Violet Estates. And Matthew, good morning. Do you have any comments for us?
Good morning. I think Ms. Capolino summarized it pretty succinctly. At the time, we endeavored to work with the IDA initially. We did believe at the time that certain operating company, Violet Estates LLC, would incur expenses. That has not happened. So we are looking to reallocate those benefits to the owner operator, which is Violet Estates owner. In addition to that, as Ms. Capolino stated, the shared benefits are creating some issues with our financing, and our counsel, Michelle Riders, on as well. I can defer to her for any technical issues there. But essentially, it is as Ms. Capolino has summarized.
Great, thank you. Actually, for the information of the board, could you update us with the stage that your project is at?
Yeah, absolutely. We're very excited with the progress that we've made. We started this project really in construction January of 2021. And as of last week, a week from today, actually, we received TCOs on our first 2 buildings, first 2 of 6. So roughly 14 months after we started construction, we have tenants living in our community. We had 2 people move in already. So really pleased with our progress. I'm not sure if you guys have gotten a chance to drive by. We think that it's a beautiful community and will be a great addition to the Poughkeepsie and Hudson Valley communities. And things continue to progress. We have been able to move through construction and very well throughout the last 16 months, give or take, even despite all the challenges of the greater macro and microeconomic climates. That being said, it's going really well. We've surmounted those challenges. We have a great team, and I think that speaks to the talent pool in the region, and also our collective efforts of working together with the IDA and the other local municipalities. So really appreciate everyone's support on this project, and looking forward to much continued success there.
One more question. So those are age-restricted units, I take it. How many in total are you planning?
There's 84 apartments, and then there's 7,000 square feet of retail. I can also report that we have agreed in principle to terms with our first retail tenant. The lease hasn't been signed yet, so I'd rather not go into details, but in principle, we have agreed with our first retail tenant, and we have interest in others. So great news on that front as well.
It is. Thank you. Any other questions from the board members? Thank you very much. So let's see if we can have a motion.
That motion.
Thank you, Al. And a second.
I'll second, Amy.
Thank you, Amy. We'll take a vote. Amy, if you take the roll call. Oh, it's Amy Jackman. If you take the roll call.
Kathy Bauer,
Approved.
Amy Bonadiri,
Approve.
Jamie Picone,
Approve.
Don Sagliano,
Approved.
Al Torrigiani,
Approved.
Mark Doyle.
Approved. Thank you very much. Vote passes.
Thank you.
Good luck with the rest of the project. Thank you, Mr. Hall.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Very good. So Creek Drive, 2328 Creek Drive. Do we have anybody who needs to leave the meeting or?
No, we have no
conflicts
conflicts
with that?
that I'm aware of.
Good morning. We have with us Tim Posaka. I'm sorry if I'm not getting the pronunciation correct, but good morning to you.
You're doing just fine. Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Sarah, again, if you'd like to
Sure.
lead off with the amendment to the lease.
Yeah, so this is a presentation. The 23 Creek Drive will actually be having a public hearing and then come back at the April 20th regular meeting for their final approval. What Creek Drive is requesting is that their sales tax benefit had expired on 12/31/2021. They had a little over $43,000 still remaining in unused sales tax benefit. The project, similar to many projects that has come in front of the IDA board, has experienced delays as a result of the pandemic and has not been able to complete construction. So they are asking for an extension of their sales tax benefit. The letter submitted to the board had asked the extension to be till July 31st, 2022. I am recommending that the board extend it to 12/31/2022 to allow for any contingency if they are delayed any further. The applicant is also asking for an increase in sales tax benefit of $95,000, again, as a result of the rise in construction costs that they have experienced. The plan is that the remaining sales tax benefit will be used to fit their main commercial tenant, which is DocuWare.
Wonderful. Timothy, do you have anything to add to that or comments?
She did very well, and Sarah and I have talked through. As she mentioned, primarily what we're looking for is an extension of the sales tax benefit, because DocuWare, the commercial tenant for the 20,000 square feet, is beginning their fit out now. And while we're 96% done with the building itself, and we're moving into fitting out the final residentials, this benefit would greatly aid their ability to move into the building sooner.
Understood. Questions from members of the board?
Yeah.
Great, go ahead, Darren.
So the initial sales tax exemption expired at 12/31/2021. Can we go retroactive to January 1st?
No.
Meaning that there's a cutoff, so is the applicant aware that they had no exemption
Correct.
in this interim period of time?
Yes, we're aware of that.
With New York State? Okay.
Yes, we've had this discussion. We've been talking throughout this time, and so.
Okay.
Yeah, great question. And of course, the benefit is basically a cap on sales tax benefits. So if they don't use that amount, they will expend that on purchases for the building. They won't get it.
So do we need to amend the draft resolution to extend on page 204, the whereas, and extend the completion date to December 31st at all?
So the way that we've drafted it is to have the completion date be July 2022, and the extension of the termination date essentially just means that if they needed to, they could continue to use the sales tax exemption until the end of the year.
Okay, so there's no problem with not having them concurrent?
Correct.
Okay.
Thanks for looking carefully at that, Don. That was Don Sagliano,
Sorry.
for the record. That's okay. Trying to be good about our multi-site meeting locations. Very good. So the next part of this is to have a public hearing.
Yes, a public hearing has been scheduled for April 19th in Beacon at 4 p.m. And then the board meeting will be on our regular board meeting. They'll come back at our regular board meeting, which is scheduled for Wednesday, April 20th.
And so you'd like us to make a preliminary?
Oh, no, so, no, it's just, we don't have to do anything. It's just a presentation.
Well, we do have a public hearing resolution that we've included here, because what it does is it ratifies the actions that have been taken to schedule the public hearing already, and then authorizes to go forward with holding the public hearing.
So you'd like us to make a?
Yes, so it's, it's not to approve the benefits, it's just to approve the public hearing.
Absolutely. So understood, everybody. What we're going to vote on is a motion to approve the public hearing for this request. If I could have.
I'll make that motion, but once it's second, I have a
discussion point. Okay, do you have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Jamie. Go ahead, Don Sagliano with it.
So is there a necessity within the project to have a public hearing, or the applicant wants to have a public hearing?
So when the general municipal law requires that when the IDA is granting $100,000 in benefits or more, that they have a public hearing. Here, the additional benefits being requested are 95,000. It's under that amount.
Okay.
But because technically the prior benefits expired, we thought it prudent to have the public hearing because it could be viewed as the extension of the prior benefits. Granting that 43,000 and change.
So in total more than 100. Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
I think that makes good sense. Are there any other questions? Okay, so if not, we're ready for a vote. If you'd like to take a roll call, Jensen.
Kathy Bauer,
Approved.
Amy Bonaderi,
Approved.
Jamie Pacone,
Approved.
John Sagliano,
Approved.
Al Torrigiani,
Approved.
Mark Doyle.
Approved. Okay, thank you very much, and luck with the public hearing. Sure that will go well, and good luck with the rest of the project.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. All right, so I think then we need to adjourn this part, which is the IDA meeting, and